morning.
Morning, Yasmin. Very good.
Good.
Thank you.
Introduce yourselves.
I'm Hadia, co-founder of the Muslim Choral Ensemble.
I'm Nafisa, and I'm more like a resource person, part of the support team for the ensemble and all the work that Hadia does.
I'm Akila, parent of some of the choristers in MC, and plus an ardent fan and supporter of what Hadia is doing.
And so you have put together a string of concerts. Could you tell us about the string of concerts that you have?
Okay, so Yasmin, I think first time just to say thank you to you for doing this for us, because you've been with the Muslim Choral Ensemble since the inception in 2016-17. We've come a long way since, and Sama is going to be our 6th year, which is, I would call it an umbrella under which a cluster of what we do is going to be highlighted. Sama is the umbrella under which we have the parent body of Sama is the Muslim Choral Ensemble, and underneath that Muslim Choral Ensemble has created Sama, and comes the Voices for Peace, and we have established another presentation which is called An-Nur. So An-Nur is all about spiritual blending of what we do is we have got 3 segments of it, which is very interesting because it involves spiritual songs, pieces, then it involves zikr, and it also involves a bit of narration, which helps people also understand what the Muslim and Islam is about. It's a celebration of the Muslims. Then we have Voices for Peace, which was created in 2019. Thereafter, it was last year the World Muslim Choral Ensemble, which is now going to be pretty much, going to be in the forefront of all the activities. And Muslim Choral Ensemble Sri Lanka is what will drive it. So that's about the cluster of events that we are going to be having, starting on the 24th, going right through to the 30th.
So we are meeting literally also after 1 year. What's changed with the choir?
Well, I don't think the choir has changed as much as the choir is a tool that's driving things in the background. So this year we're going to be doing a couple of outreach programs. So within that comes, a visit to the prison. We're looking at, it is confirmed, the blind school. Then we also have, what are the others? We have
a panel discussion.
We have a panel discussion at the Lakshman Kadugama Center Institute. Then there's one more which is in the process of being confirmed, but I'm not sure whether we are, ready to sort of speak about it. And we are also visiting the masjid for Jummah prayers on Friday. So this is all about the collaboration. Last year we launched the World Choir, but this year it is now a collaboration with visiting choirs. So I call them our goodwill ambassadors, because it's about bringing what we do to the forefront, but doing it in a way that we've inspired others to come and join us. And this is what we want to see grow. Eventually, this is what we're aiming for through the World Muslim Choral Ensemble, because that is where our reach internationally is going to come out. I think Nafisa and Akila can also contribute to some of the...
Just expanding on the fact that this year 2 formal choirs will be joining us. It's really wonderful to think of the exchanges that will take place, even among the choirs, between and within the choristers. Everyone will be exposed to each other's cultures, each other's, ways of practicing, ways of rehearsing, ways of performance and presentation. So this is the richness and the education and the knowledge sharing that has been a very, very important part of the vision of MCE and WMC, which I think it's a very important aspect, especially for Sri Lanka at this point in time, because we have a lot to give and a lot to share. In return, there are, of course, elements that we learn all the time, and just being for 1 week with people from different cultural backgrounds is a huge, it's a big fund base, that will take this whole vision forward.
So when we launched the World Choir in 2023, we did have representation from other countries, and it is that representation that took a message back then it was not only about the Muslim choral ensemble. It was about racial tolerance, communal harmony. It had impacted those singers so much, and it is why the US choir is coming down as a whole. All the choristers are coming in. We're having 15 from the US, and we have another 15 to 16 from Indonesia. We have individual artists coming down from the UAE and India as well.
So will there be a few names, a few recurring names who are going to be singing this year as well?
Yes, so recurring names would be, I think you've heard him, is Nabil Khan, who plays the sarangi, and then there is Shahid Shabazz, who's been right through this journey with us, and that's like really amazing, and it gives us a lot of confidence that we're doing something right. And we got the US choir coming in from, obviously from the States and Indonesia, called US's Voices 21C, and the Indonesian choir is the Manado State University Choir, who had won the World Choir Games. I think it's a powerful gathering where they understand that what we are doing is beyond, what I say is always that it's beyond entertainment. Entertainment is just the presentations, the concerts are just tools, because if I have to do it without the choristers, it wouldn't work. Where do we start, where do we end? There has to be a purpose, even to get public attention. There has to be something that drives it, and that's where the Muslim Choral Ensemble is driving it. And of course, I have to say, there are two very special people, Professor Andre and Manoj. If they wouldn't be there, we wouldn't be there. This is, it's their trust and sort of faith in us that also has given us a lot of time to do what we are doing with the resource team, whilst they figure out what's going to happen with the rest of it, the musical aspects of it.
How do you think Sri Lanka has warmed up to Muslim music?
Yasmin, bringing this platform in, I hope we are reaching out to parents of singers, children, who they will encourage them to come, because we don't have a platform for the Muslims here. Children who have got brilliant voices, when they go to school, just, have to give it all up, because they don't have a platform where, some of the parents would say, okay, go ahead, do what you're doing. And some would say, no, but we can't let you do it, because this is what the do's and the don'ts, pros and cons. But here we are, we're giving them a very, very, open invitation, and we don't have an age group. So we have from 12 to 52, I think, and it's a beautiful mix. It's layered with the ages, it's layered with the different, sort of the vocal textures, if I may say so. So these are things which are amazing. Our doors are always open. We don't even sometimes have auditions. We just tell them to join us, and then Manoj has the hard work of trying to get the best out of them, which is fine, because we know that we are not aiming to be world class. I wish we will eventually, but we want to be recognized for what we're doing, for what we have created, and if the mindset also to tell parents, give them the opportunity to join us. It's an amazing feeling when they come in, and we have non-Muslim singers, and they are brilliant at what they do, and they believe in what we do, and we're giving them, an insight into our communities, which is really, sort of very encouraging and very beautiful. So I think Akila can probably, speak on behalf of the parents of choristers who are there. I think Akila, you should.
Being a mother of all three children are part of this choir, and to me, it's more than only developing their voices and singing praises of Islam, plus singing with other religions and communities praises of of their faiths as well. More than that, it's also the people they are being part of this. Having our children going to international schools, sometimes exposure is so little to everything else, and the ground, the practicality, people from grassroots levels. So it's amazing how they're growing. My son, the elder one, was really young when he joined, and who he's become today, a huge amount of it goes to his participation in MC. I will always think that, that man he has become today has a lot to do being part of this. So it's not only the singing journey that they have, it's the journey of becoming better humans, better people for this world.
And that actually is the ethos, that we'd like to really share.
Absolutely.
That this is what the world needs. The world needs human beings, and that is one of the key factors at MCE. All the simple things that people seem to forget in the rat race for success and achievement, to care, to share, to be aware of other people, and we also celebrate that everybody is different. No one has to fit into a mold. And through the music, through the presentations, the recitations, the learning and the studying of it, it's the whole ethos and the credo of Islam that we are sharing, not just words, on a page. I think that's the very important aspect of this project. And Sama is bringing together we have opened it out into a bigger spectrum from last year.
I think, I've just mentioned Professor and Manoj here, but I have to say that, Manoj also has grown with us. He has grown into what we do. I mean, we've respected each other's religions. We don't have any, I think it's a very sort of inclusive group of people. And Professor himself, works with all different denominations, different cultures, so he understands everything. I think he knows more about Islamic music, and he always says, celebrate Islam. He said, don't try to hide behind what probably, the stereo sort of typical people whom everybody probably thinks, is what Muslims are about. But also the fact that, we are inclusive and we embrace people, it doesn't matter who they are, and this is what we say, collaborate. One of our outreach programs is with Wesley College, and there we have got music educators coming down. So we said open it out to other schools, invite your fellow choristers, because this is about sharing. It's not about us bringing people down. It's about utilizing the people we bring down to serve other communities, So which is another thing which we're doing with the University of Visual and Performing Arts. So there is also a program there where our artists are going out there to share their knowledge with the university. It just only enriches what we're doing, and it enriches what others are imbibing also, which is very important.
This is amazing. Also, how do you guys get funded? Is this like concert to concert? How do these things work with you guys?
So, no, we don't get funding. So that is why you'll probably see us, having very simple gatherings. You've seen it, right? We'll use a very sort of a cheap option. But as long as we do it, because we have to keep the momentum up for the choristers. Otherwise, if we are going to come in, practice in, out. In fact, we even have to say a big thank you to one of our choristers, Sajida, where her husband has opened out his clinic in the evenings to give it as a practice venue. So these, the contributions that people make, in kind, also has to be recognized. And we just go there, and I love the energy anyway in the clinic. It's lovely, the acoustics are lovely, so I think the intention with which it has been given helps us to, cover our sort of expenses, or not expenses, but do away with, having to go. But we are hoping, I want people in our communities to understand that, it's not about funding things what they call ROI, because we don't have anything to give back to them, other than, raise the quality of the lives of our children. The shared humanity, what we teach them, the value systems, those are important to us. So that's the return on their investment.
Okay, this is amazing. And so every concert you guys put it towards the very next one?
No, we don't.
Okay.
Because we have barely enough to cover our...
we actually budgeted such that, we hope we are anticipating.
So last year, I think it was a couple of people. There is our patron now. Of course, he will be known to a lot of people. There are kind people, but we can't take advantage of kindness. So this concert, this 1 week, we want to cover it from ticket sales. The ticket that they're buying is helping us to cover all our costs for 7 days.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, here's hoping ticket sales will be good. Also, have you received any weird comments on females being in your choir?
No.
Because,
No.
okay.
This is the most beautiful thing. I've not had one person who said anything against us. And I really am grateful to all communities, for being there and accepting us for who we are. No, I've never had. And I also believe if it does come my way, I think lips sealed. We don't fight back. That's what we are taught. Those are the values we live by, and those are the values we'll progress with.
The Muslim music blend that you bring in and promote, is it just Sufi stuff? Is it like a blend of different types of worship music?
It's a blend of different types of worship music, so which is why, let me tell you, the first performance is a different blend of spiritual offerings, right? I would call it, because it's got qasidas, and those are the zikr. So there would be, for instance, we're doing an arrangement with zikr. When Professor comes in, we will be doing that, practicing for that. The second concert is going to be interfaith. When we say interfaith, it's beautiful because each faith, each religion of Sri Lanka is being given the opportunity to come and showcase what they do. And the third one is pretty much, our section is going to be 100% Sufi, and of course the other international choirs will choose what they want to do. So it's all different, all three of them.
And what is the future of the MCE looking like?
Good. Because inshallah, I believe that, once we close in on this, we'll start planning, but we're going to plan it very, very carefully, have a proper structure for it, and inshallah, hopefully, we will not be going around, bothering people for, ticket sales, and hopefully we can give it free, That would be really great.
As we did last
year. We did last year. We gave it all out free. But we are going to aim for that in the future as well. And I think what I would love most is to start sending out all these people who come to contribute to us, sending them out to different parts of Sri Lanka to go and share their knowledge in the rural schools as well and amongst the communities there.
Here's all power to what you ladies set out to do, and cheers to the future of MCE
Thank you.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yasmin. And thank you for being there, and thank you for always, supporting us in everything that we have done. We really appreciate it. And I can speak on behalf of everyone.
Well, it's a working day, so some of the resource team, all of it is not here.
Yes.
But
it was just
so many people that, contribute time and energy and expertise in their own fields. So I think that's also, in its own way, the backstage is as important as what audiences will watch.
It's a backstage and the backbone. Creating the vision is one thing, but implementing all that is something else. So they've all done their part and they continue to do it, and it actually gets more and more intense with them. So now, hopefully, start taking a back seat.
I don't think that's going to happen ever. She has dreams.
Is there anyone you want to thank in closing?
I would love to thank them, but I don't know whether they would, want it to be a public thank you, because it's always, Generally, I would say last year we were sponsored fully, and I'd like to really tell the gentleman, he's touched us so much with his kindness, which I don't know how we're going to repay him. But this year too, there are people who've said they would sort of pledge to us, and I would like to thank them in advance. And if it happens, all happens fine. If it doesn't happen, it's not meant to be. But all I ask is, for the public, just to contribute to one ticket, and we'll be home.